Yo, I'm Bob, totally blind since birth into Star Wars, talking about Season 2, Episode 7 of The Bad Batch on Disneyplus. This one's The Clone Conspiracy, 23rd episode of the show overall. Spoilers ahead, watch it before listening to my thoughts. Jumping right in, you were warned. I'm glad they aired this episode as well as the following episode, Truth and Consequences, on the same day. Don't think I could have waited a week between episodes. Really sinister cliffhanger at the end of this one. It was a really sinister episode. What can I say? So, things are really starting to unravel for poor Vice Admiral Rampart here. You've got a clone trooper named Cade and his buddy Slip. And Cade, poor idealistic Cade, has sent a message to Rampart. Hey man, I'm going to go forward to the Senate and tell them what you made us do. I cannot live with this guilt anymore. We need to tell them about the attack on Camino. They need to know what happened. You're covering it up. And of course, when he does this, you know that Cade is not long for the Star Wars galaxy. When they get out of the clone bar, we get to see this enigmatic assassin behind a mask. I would imagine it's not clone armor at all. They didn't describe the armor in the descriptive audio narration track. But yes, I want the action figure of Clone X, as he's called online. So you got that short and sweet action scene. Poor Cade is indeed murdered. And then we get to go and visit the Senate on Coruscant. And I like the Clone Wars alum characters we get to see. Of course, Masamita's been around for a long time, you know, since the prequels. I love whenever Steven Stanton voices that character. He's such a slippery character there, that Masamita. We get to see Ryo Chuchi again, voiced by Jennifer Hale. My screen reader keeps calling her Rio, so forgive me if I mispronounce the name. Rampart, he's there as well. We get a really creepy voiced Commerce Guild Gossam senator. I think it's a female, but I'm not sure. I love how Ryo, there I go, is trying to be a voice for the clones. No one has thought about what's going to become of the army after they're phased out of service. And she's kind of continuing what Padme started in terms of being a voice for the people in the Senate. And I like how Chuchi brings up, hey, we need to be better than this. We got to think about the troopers that fought for us during the Clone Wars. And you've got Chuchi later on. I love how she goes to the bar and she's trying to let all the troopers know, hey, you guys need to face facts that your aging is accelerated. You're eventually going to have to be retired and you get to pick what you want to do with your own lives. Of course, you've got some troopers that do not want to stop fighting. It's all that they've known. It's what they were bred for. And a life outside of war is something that's scary for them. You know, it's like they need to be told what to do, who to fight, what their next mission is. But you've got Slip, and he lets Chuchi know what Rampart's up to. And I love that scene a lot because I was thinking it was going to be a slow season-long burn for Rampart. But now you've got Chuchi. She knows what's going on. I like that scene where she goes to see him and she's kind of hinting to him that she knows what's going on. Oh, you know, isn't it funny that the entire city was destroyed? Where were you when this happened, by the way? And then you've got Masamita. He is privately breathing down Rampart's neck, really wanting him to get that bill passed. Because he says things won't go well for him if he doesn't. So you've got the world slowly being pulled out from under Rampart, one piece at a time. It happened a lot faster than I thought it would. And I love Phil Lamar voicing Bale in this episode as well. Whenever someone is on the cusp of rebelling, here comes Bale, and he's telling Chuchi, you know, there is opposition, there are whispers, folks don't like what Palpatine's doing, and then you've got you've got Chuchi meeting with Slip later on. Of course, Slip is murdered, but not before he tells Chuchi that Rampart ship is undergoing maintenance, and there's a recording of the attack in the ship's log. And then I love the action scene at the end of the episode with Clone X. And when we find out that he's a clone, my first thought was, how many of these believers are there? And could one or two of these guys eventually become Palpatine's royal guard? Not all of them, of course. I think there might be one or two clones that did eventually become royal guards. But this guy, he takes himself out with a suicide shocker rather than answering Captain Rex's questions. I love seeing Rex show up at the end of the episode when they apprehended Clone X. And just a really sinister way to end the episode. I hope these unswervingly loyal clones eventually become, I don't know, a death trooper or two. I'm not sure what they're going to do with them, but I hope this isn't the last we see of the believers, as I like to call them. It's a really sinister undertone as the episode ends. And of course, now they're going to have to pay a call on the Bad Batch as Truth and Consequences begins. It's one of my favorite episodes. Be talking about that next time, so be here for that. And may the Force be with you.